Today's U.S. House Intelligence Committee hearing on Russia's meddling in the 2016 U.S. presidential elections was likely the first of many. And there are a few names you may just start hearing as investigators explore potential connections or collaboration between U.S. President Donald Trump and the Kremlin. So let's take a look at one of those names. Trump's former campaign manager, Paul Manafort. In August of last year, Manafort's ties to a Russian-backed political party in Ukraine forced him to resign his post just months before the election. But what do we actually know about those ties? Here in the studio to explain this more is UATV's Christopher Atwood. Hello, Chris. So what do we know now?
Hey, so about Manafort. After years on the international scene representing dubious characters and dictators, guys like that, Manafort landed in Ukraine as an advisor to pro-Russian politician Viktor Yanukovych. In 2010, he helped Yanukovych become president of Ukraine. By 2014, Yanukovych had almost established himself as a dictator in Ukraine, and that was widely reported in the Western media as a huge cause for concern. To that end, our American viewers might be interested to know that Ukrainians weren't exactly shocked at the chance of lock her up, referring to Hillary Clinton in the 2016 presidential elections in the U.S. Under Manafort's tutelage, Yanukovych actually had imprisoned his own biggest political rival, Yulia Tymoshenko. But by February 2014, the Euromaidan revolution ousted Yanukovych. The exact extent of Manafort's role in Yanukovych's rise to near dictatorship is unknown. But what we do know is that last year, Ukrainian government investigators uncovered handwritten ledgers allegedly showing Yanukovych's pro-Russian political party had earmarked nearly $13 million in undisclosed payments to Paul Manafort. After that, the AP reported that from 2012 to 2014, Manafort's lobbying firm had funded a multi-million-dollar effort to undermine sympathy for Yulia Tymoshenko's imprisonment. However, the most damning reports were probably the flurry of news that implicated Manafort in having repeatedly sown political unrest in Crimea for political gain, tactics that may have led to Russia's annexation of Crimea's peninsula, of Ukraine's Crimean peninsula, sorry. Currently, just as recent news that Ukrainian investigators want to question Manafort in connection to a corruption case related to that Tymoshenko imprisonment. And then on the backdrop of all of that, a New York Times report from last month alleges that Manafort was in contact with Russian operatives throughout the Trump presidential campaign.
Great. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.